Why is the business cutting staff now? You know, this has been a long structural trend, I suppose, trouble for the high street.
Absolutely, and M&S in particular. I mean, M&S has been trying to turn around its business for the last decade. I think one of the reasons why they're doing it now, well, I think there's a number of reasons, but some of the main ones is the government job support scheme, the furlough scheme, as it's known here, is coming to an end soon. So I think a lot of jobs that have been supported now, companies are looking very closely at their costs. So I think that's part of the reason. But I think the main reason really is just the shape of trade that's happened here. Although the stores have reopened, people in Britain are still quite nervous about going out, and footfall to the main streets, to malls, is still down massively compared to where it would have been a year ago. So I think, retailers are having to cut their costs accordingly. But I also think there's a slight bit of opportunism for M&S in that they are trying to accelerate their transformation plan. And so I think they're thinking now is the time to take these job cuts.
I also wonder, Deirdre, if you appeal to a younger demographic that is very used to online shopping and was able to pivot there very quickly, perhaps you were a little more protected from this, although M&S should have been a bit protected by exposure to food, and food has been selling very well, as we know, over the pandemic.
It has. I mean, their food division has done well, but the big bugbear that M&S has always had to deal with is its clothing and home division, which is still a very sizable part of its business, and it's been trying to move more online during, for the past decade. But what they've been seeing during the crisis, during the pandemic crisis, is that more of their customers are turning to online shopping. So they've had to devote more resources to that. They're having to do more home delivery. So I think they see that as the shape of trade going forward, which means they're not going to need as many stores in the future. They've already announced plans to close about 100 stores, and I think this is part of this wider structural shift that we're seeing. We're seeing in British retail that was happening already, but has now been turbocharged by the pandemic.